Hey guys, it's Ted Bogert. Welcome back to the Ted Show. You guys know I love musical guests, and we have a very talented young man here. Cliff Dorsey is with us. Raise one with Cliff Dorsey. We're going to talk about that. Cliff's going to perform two songs for us. That's a blessing. We're going to learn about his journey, and we're going to learn all things Cliff Dorsey. So you can go to cliffdorsey.com as well. Welcome, Cliff. How you doing today, buddy?
Doing very well, Ted. Thank you for having me on here.
Excited. I love your app. I mean, seriously, you could not be in a better environment. We could shoot a music video at this point where you're at. Loving every second of it. All right. So I told you before we went live that the audience loves an origin story. They want to know if you always knew you wanted to be in music and kind of your journey to making it your profession. So give us the 411 on Cliff Dorsey.
So I grew up in High Springs, Florida, which is a railroad town just outside of Gainesville, Florida, home of the University of Florida there.
Ooh, go
Also
Gators.
go Gators. And Gainesville's the home of Tom Petty as well, a little bit of music background. But I grew up loving country music. My dad is from an older generation, and he used to work on race cars and listen to Johnny Cash. So I was definitely set up with Johnny Cash at a young age, and my mom kept me in church. And whenever Josh Turner came out with the song Long Black Train, that's whenever it kind of clicked for me that I wanted to do music. I had a guitar for about a year at that point. I was 15 years old. And, well, actually, at that point, I had a guitar for a week. That's what it was. I walked into the years whenever I really started getting out and trying to play something. But Josh Turner was introduced into my life immediately after getting a guitar and hearing Long Black Train, tying all those things together. I said, Lord, if I had a voice like that, I'd do something about it. Well, mind you, I was 15 years old, and shortly after, I developed a deep voice. So my mom threw me up in front of church. I had terrible stage fright. I didn't even want to stand in front of the stage, even if I wasn't even doing anything. But that was a gradual thing that I had to get through and conquer. But also, it was it was kind of like letting God lead the way on that. Singing Long Black Train in church was the first time. And then at 17, I played my first show at a barbecue place over there in Newberry, Florida. And
All these
yeah,
things I know. Towns, I know. I should say.
right. Yeah. Backyard Barbecue was the name of the place. And I think I played there for a 2 hour set. And some of the songs that I auditioned with was Amarillo by Morning, George Strait, one of my favorite songs, Simple Man, Leonard
That
Skinner.
song.
Yeah.
You're
And
old school. You got lots of old school in your repertoire there. That's pretty cool.
I really like storytelling. That's and songwriting. In the same year of starting to play guitar, I started developing songwriting, and that's to me whenever you can put down some of your experiences or even just a fantasy in your head, if you will, just maybe from somebody else's point of view or whatever it may be, and you put it down on paper, make a melody to it, and then it connect with people. And for example, there's a song that I wrote called 321, and people say, man, that song's about two kids trying to escape a small town. It takes me back to 18 and driving around, not having much to do and just wanting to get out of a small town. And so connecting with people that way, songwriting is amazing like that.
You're an old soul. I can tell. I love that. Tell us about the songwriting process because everybody does it different, right? I mean, there's people who collaborate a lot. There's people who don't write any of their own music. They just sing. It sounds like you can adapt to all of that. Before you answer that, though, I've got to know how do you know that you can write melody and words? I find that whole process so fascinating because I could write poetry, right? I think you can write words, but then to try to put it to music, I would be lost. So tell us about your songwriting process.
Well, it's gonna sound very artsy, because it's kind of scattered all
That's
over
okay.
the
I like
place.
it.
But I mean, there's majors and there's minors. They set a mood when it comes to a song. That's how the melody works in there. But actually getting the lyrics down. Sometimes it's a title, sometimes it's one line that you think you can start a song on, or it's the hook. And depending on what that subject line is, sometimes it's a sad song, but it's something you can get out on the dance floor and, dance with a partner to, or line dance to. But major and minor, like, let's see, that's kind of a major thing. That could be happy or ballad, or a minor. That's kind of more of a slow dance song, or sad. And the best way I can describe it is connect the two. Um, you start writing a line, and before you know it, you have a song, and then you go back and you're like, huh, does this song even make sense? And then eventually it does once you refine it.
Tell me about when you perform, because we're blessed. We're gonna get to hear you perform two songs. When you're on stage, do you still have an emotional connection to the song? Like, do you get if it's an emotional song, like something that brings back a memory or a sad or happy time? Do you connect to that on stage, or are you super focused on the performance? Like, what do you like on stage? Do you ever go back to that time? Do you get emotional? What's your performance and the connection to the song like?
Most definitely. I think that is absolutely necessary to provide a good performance, but also to be honest, to be genuine, in a sense of that's how you connect to the listener, is the energy that you bring to the song. If it's a happy song, get up there and, I mean, like, push, like, move around a little bit. And if it's a sad song, then you got to connect to, I mean, it goes back to how it makes you feel, or put yourself in that person's position. I think what ties me, a good example is Keith Whitley songs. He has some of the saddest songs, some of the best love songs, but whenever you sing those, if you mean them, then you're right there with him,
Agreed.
you know,
God, the
and
fact that
that's
you
what
know
really,
Keith Whitley, you really
yeah.
do know the old school country stuff. That is old school. I'll have to Google who Keith Whitley is.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
Tell me about the performance. Do you like? You said you had performance anxiety beginning. Have you overcome that? And then for any artists out there who are experiencing the same thing, because I think a lot of artists do, how did you overcome it?
Putting in the hours, um, taking risks, and falling on my face a few times, and realizing that it's not the end of the world.
Amen.
I think now I still have the same. I want to go out there and I want to do the best job that I possibly can. I don't want um, myself or the audience, but mainly myself, feeling like I was lacking or holding back on any performance. So I'm always trying to get better. But when it comes to worried about bombing or anything like that, it's like you know, people are going to love it or they're not. Music is very subjective, and it's you just make the best of it. And if it doesn't land with that crowd, well, there's enough people in the world. Jason Isbell said this. There's enough people in the world to listen to your music and enjoy it, and there's people that enjoy other music. Like, there's enough. It's fine. I got a dog coming up here, Rupert. That's what you're hearing. I think you're muted there.
I am
There
muted. I
you
have
go.
to call on. Hey, puppy.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
tell us what you're going to perform first. And I'm going to take myself off, give us a little history on it, and then take it away.
Most definitely. I only think it's right if I grab the dog real quick. Rupert. There you go. Now you got the whole dog. So this song is actually quite a bit about where I'm from. It's called Santa Fe, and it's about the Santa Fe River, very small river, but it has so many clear Florida springs, 72 degrees year round. It's home of Jenny Springs, which is a scuba diving must go to destination for cave divers. And as I said earlier, Tom Petty's from the area, from Gainesville, so I incorporated a little bit of Tom Petty. So this song's about all the things you can do on the Santa Fe and people around here that enjoy the Santa Fe just as much as I do. So I hope you enjoy it.
Take it away.
Come on down where the water drifts slow. Memories are remembered and the good times roll. Let your troubles get caught in the current, slip away. Find what your soul's been missing on Santa Fe. Well, it's heaven on earth where I come from. A piece of paradise under Florida sun. Backing in a boat, drifting on the floor, chilling on the bank, just enjoying the day. Find what your soul's been missing on Santa Fe. Hey, find what your soul's been missing on Santa Fe. Well, any other springs is a place to feel free. You'll find a fine peace underneath that cypress tree. When Tom Petty comes on, we turn it up loud. All my buddies singing, no, we won't back down. Last name, Mary Jane. You find what your soul's been missing on the Santa Fe. Yeah. It's a night I hope you're sitting around a red campfire, catching up with some friends you ain't seen in a while, enjoying that simple life knowing you got it made. And finding what your soul's been missing on Santa Fe. You find what your soul's been missing on Santa Fe. Well, any other spring is a place to feel free. You'll find a fine peace underneath that cypress tree. When Tom Petty comes on, we turn it up loud. All my buddies singing, no, we won't back down. Last name, Baby Jane. You find what your soul's been missing. Find what your soul's been missing. Find what your soul's been missing on Santa Fe.
Okay, that was so good. So, the truth be told, I take myself off because in case you're super bad, my face will not lie. That
You're a
was
smart man, Ted.
that was so good. I mean it. It was really good. Your vocals are great. You immediately got me into the mood. It was so good, Cliff. I love that song.
We're supposed to be floating down the river on that.
And you know what? When you're performing it, that's what you feel like because you've got the smile, you're enjoying it. I think that makes such a difference in the performance. It was so good. I was moving along. Nobody wants to see an old white guy dancing around either. So I was take myself off for that.
Maybe your viewers might want to see that.
Follow my TikTok. You'll see some of that insanity. But that was excellent. I loved it. I absolutely love that. All right. Tell us what is next. It was so good, by the way. So good.
Okay. Let me adjust the guitar here. But so first radio single, Raise One is the name of the song. And whenever we went into the studio, the Swon Brothers were my producers, which amazing artists, amazing producers. And we said we want to record some songs that perform a service to the listener. And This song is to honor first responders, veterans, current military, people that educate the youth of our communities, people that their job is never done. So that could be medical field, it could be a lot of things, but um, mainly we're raising a glass to the heroes of our community, first responders and military, and that's what Raise One is in the title. Raise a
All right.
glass to those
Raise
unsung
one.
heroes.
I'm gonna take myself
And
off again. Here we go.
all right, and if you already heard the song, you can sing along. So here's Raise One. We're the strong ones, we're the brave ones, we're the break their back for us ones. Let's raise one. To the tough ones, do their best to keep us safe ones. To the good ones, let's raise one. Put them up in the air for the ones out there whose work is never done. Let's raise one. And to the ones out on the line, to the ones that give their life, doing what must be done. Let's raise one. To the bold ones, to the fight for what is right ones, to the good ones, let's raise one. Put them up in the air for the ones out there whose work is never done. Let's raise one. And to the ones out on the line, and to the ones that give their life, doing what must be done. Let's raise one. Just put them up in the air for the ones out there whose work is never done. Let's raise one. And to the ones out on the line, and to the ones that give their life, and doing what must be done. Let's raise one. To the ones out on the line, and to the ones that give their life, and doing what must be done. Let's raise one. Here's the bold one. Here's the fight for what is right one. Here's the good ones. Let's raise one.
Listen, I love that song too. I'm a big proponent and supporter and advocate for first responders, anybody in that. And so what I love again is that you smiled through it. You could tell that there's joy and cheer in your voice. You have a great voice. The fact that you're out in the middle of nowhere singing with a guitar, I think that's amazing. That's real talent. But
I was trying to I was trying to spare the microphone for that high note. I was like, how can I sing this note but not scream?
You were fantastic. It was really good, and I love you wrote that, right?
So I did not write that
Oh, you
song.
did
That
not write.
song, no. So Robin Collins
Yes, give us
and
the credit.
Michael Miller, amazing writers. And as I said, we were going in the studio looking for a song that provided service to people, and they delivered that one to us. And so I can't take any credit on that part.
Well, you
I'm
take
honored
credit
that
for
they would let
singing
me.
it, which is good, and
Yes,
delivering their message, which is what songwriters really like. They want
it's
to.
an honor. It really is.
All right, Cliff Dorsey, tell them the best way they can find out about you, how they can follow you, download your music, give them all the links. Tell us all about it.
So, schedule and all the links to all the social media, cliffdorsey.com. If you want to be more specific, Cliff Dorsey Music on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook, and Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, Apple Music. Just look up Cliff Dorsey or Raise One or Santa Fe. I'll be right there. And there's also a lyric video for Raise One with videos and photos of first responders on YouTube. So look up Raise One there and Cliff Dorsey there. And thank you so much, Ted, for having me on.
Man, what a blessing. Thank you so much. Come back on anytime. You guys, you know how big, what a big fan I am of anybody who's a creative. They're out here putting their heart and soul into everything. And so let's give back. Let's make sure we follow them. If you love Cliff's music, which I don't know why you wouldn't, follow him, cliffdorsey.com, or find him Cliff Dorsey Music on social media, or reach out to me. Come back anytime, my friend. That was awesome. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Ted. It was a pleasure.
All right, guys. cliffdorsey.com or Cliff Dorsey Music. Get out there and support him. We'll see you later. Bye, everybody.